So last week I posted a video talking about the OHL potentially returning to the city of Brampton. And since then, there's been a little more rumbling going on in regards to potential relocation of the Mississauga Steelheads to Brampton. Now, this move really doesn't seem like a big one considering the arenas, they're what, maybe 10 minutes apart, the Paramount Fine Food Center and the CAA Center. But it seems like there's more smoke billowing when it comes to the rumor. I still haven't received any confirmation that anything is in the works. I've sent out a few messages, but I've gotten some shoulder shrugs and just nothing to report yet. So that's where it stands on my sources. But I'm also getting word that there's been a new trademark made. Brampton Steelheads. I don't know how legit this tweet was or on X, but that's the latest rumor that's been going around. It's been on social media talking about this possible trademark that's been made, where we haven't yet heard if the Steelheads are in fact changing addresses in Peel region. But right now, the trademark that's being posted is saying it's the Brampton Steelheads. So it's still, I think, a lot of work to be done. And obviously, the move won't really affect division alignment because, like I said, the arenas are 10 minutes apart. So I'm still not too sure about the move, because if attendance problems were the reason why the Mississauga Steelheads are looking to move, I don't see it getting that much better in the city of Brampton, because in the last video, I talked about all the numbers about how the North Bay Battalion, the year they moved to North Bay, they were the lowest ranked in attendance. And they were saying attendance was the reason why they ended up leaving Brampton and going up north. So it's attendance is probably one thing, but you also have to wonder if it's the lease agreement, because right now the Mississauga Steelheads these last few years have been signing 1-year lease agreements, and just to see what would happen next. And from what I've also been hearing, if it's true, is that Brampton is offering a 10-year lease agreement for the Steelheads to move to the CAA Center. You have to figure it's a pretty nice lease agreement for the OHL hockey team, but still, this is just all hearsay speculation. But with the amount of rumblings that are starting to happen about a potential relocation of the Mississauga Steelheads, it's good to be aware of the situation, especially if you're a fan of the Steelheads. And it's so tough too, because Mississauga, they've had a good product on the ice for these last few years. James Richmond has done a fantastic job with this team. But they just haven't been getting that fan support. And I don't know if it's going to translate to more fans if they move to Brampton. But we'll have to wait and see. So the latest right now is there is a trademark for Brampton Steelheads. I cannot confirm if that's legit or not, but that's the rumblings on the World Wide Web. And it's hard because you don't want to just speculate, because this is affecting livelihoods. And I know it's a short distance away, so season ticket holders, they could just transfer over to Brampton. Management and the coaching staff, they can still stick around. It just adds a little more to their commute. Unless they live in Brampton, then it's a shorter commute for them. But still, it's just the next chapter in the situation with GTA hockey teams in the Ontario Hockey League. Because you have to remember, we had 3 teams back in the late 90s. You have the Toronto St. Michael's Majors, the Mississauga Ice Dogs, and the Brampton Battalion, all expansion teams relatively close together. 1998 was when Brampton and Mississauga joined the league. But since then, the Mississauga Ice Dogs moved to Niagara to become the Niagara Ice Dogs. The Majors moved to Mississauga, where they were the Mississauga St. Michael's Majors. And then there was the ownership change, and they changed their name to the Mississauga Steelheads. And then the Brampton Battalion moved to North Bay, where they're still the Battalion, but now in Northern Ontario. And the latest now is that the Mississauga Steelheads are reportedly looking to move to the city of Brampton, where they will become the Brampton Steelheads. Seems like an odd name. I was kind of wondering if they did in fact relocate, if they would change their names, but it seems like as though Brampton Steelheads might be the name of the new franchise, moving as early as next season. So we're still waiting for confirmation. I'm still following along with the details. I've sent out a few more messages just to figure out what exactly is going on with Mississauga. The team, I'm sure, won't be announcing anything official until they have a lease agreement signed, if that is in fact with the Paramount Fine Food Center or with the CAA Center in Brampton. And the schedule makers have already gone over the schedule. Usually that's done at the end of December. So if they have to go over the schedule to figure out arena dates and bookings and whatnot. So still, even though it is a small move, there's still a lot of work to be done. But I would think that if there is going to be a relocation, we should hear in the next couple of weeks, if in fact that is what's going to happen. But stay tuned. I'll keep following along with everything going on, because it is a fascinating situation right now with the Mississauga Steelheads potentially moving to Brampton. But either way, let me know in the comments section down below your thoughts on the potential relocation of the Mississauga Steelheads. Do you think would be a benefit if they ended up moving to Brampton, or do you think they should be known as the Brampton Steelheads? Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on the situation involving Mississauga. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again soon.